Hey folks, so per tradition, I'm doing a pre-event vlog here for DreamHack Austin 2017. As I release this video, I'll be in the traveling process to Austin, Texas, as this will be my second event that I've worked for DreamHack, and I had a great time working with everyone at DreamHack at Leipzig, so definitely looking forward to working with them again. And of course, this is going to be their second time coming to Austin, Texas, and one of their first events on North American soils. Of course, they did a couple last year. They started kind of making that expansion, so it's cool to really be a part of that and just continue to kind of get work with a company like DreamHack. As of course, the event's taking place April 28th through April 30th, just a Friday through Sunday event, basically. $100,000 prize pool. You know, 2 groups of 4 teams each. You know, top 2 teams from each group advance to the playoffs. You know, best of 3s for decider matches and elimination matches, as well as the semifinals and grand finals. So a very familiar format to everyone as far as how everything is set up. As far as teams that are going to be at the event, Group A, you have Hellraisers, who obviously had a great performance at Star Ladder, have been doing, you know, pretty well online, some of the qualifiers they've played in, despite maybe having some struggles in EPL. You have a team like Gambit, who just came off the back of a second place finish at Summit after kind of a tough time at Star Ladder, which kind of seems like the outlier now when you look at all the other results. So certainly, you know, a very reputable team. You have a team like Heroic, who obviously had a great debut event with Yugi over at IEM Katowice, and they've been prided on this youthful Danish talent they're bringing in, as well as some veterans who bring some great leadership to the team. And they're going to see if they can't keep, you know, making things happen as they keep, you know, piecing together things for this team. Then you have Luminosity, which is kind of a middle of the pack team in the Americas, the 3rd Brazilian team trying to make their way up the ladder and make those next steps forward to trying to be a true contender. And then over in Group B, you have G2, the French super team, who obviously had a great event at Star Ladder as well for the most part, and have looked like they've really been picking up things online as well lately. Went from the bottom of the league almost of EPL to now being well in playoff contention, and obviously just a stacked lineup of talent and experience there. You have a team like Cloud9, who, you know, obviously just came off a Summit where they had to use Swag as a stand-in, but they have scoodled back for this event, and obviously they've been looking great online lately, just looking to see if that we're going to see those offline results pick back up again. Then obviously you have a team like Immortals, who had an off time at Star Ladder, to be fair. Definitely disappointing stuff, but obviously did great at Katowice with their debut with FNX, and have been doing great online in their own right. So looking forward to seeing what they've been piecing together. And you have a team like Liquid, who we haven't seen so much out of. They're kind of in a restructuring phase. You know, Stanislaw hasn't been there too long. Twist has just come on board. Summit's the only offline event we've seen them play as a 5. And of course, you know, their online results are not too shabby either. They're well within playoff contention in EPL as well. So definitely a pretty good field of teams, while the top of the top aren't here, like your Astralis and SKs and VPs and Phases and such of the world. You definitely have a team G2 that on paper looks like they're going to be one of the best teams in the world if they can, you know, keep moving in the right direction. And then you have a bunch of teams who have been showing us some really cool results, like a Hellraisers, like a Gambit, like a Heroic, you know, like an Immortals. And you have these teams in the North American region who are some of the best teams in the region right now competing at this event on home soil. So a lot of really cool stuff as far as teams go, and it should be, you know, a lot of good competition. You know, this is an event that, you know, all these teams, you know, should feel like they have a pretty good chance to make a deep run, given the fact that, you know, a lot of the big dogs aren't on board. Also, if you want a more detailed preview of all the teams and stuff, me and Adren, or Adren and I should say, let's use that proper grammar. It's late at night when I'm recording this night before I fly, so you have to excuse me. That's why I'm being a bit quiet as well. I don't want to wake up the girlfriend. But anyway, if you want to hear a more, you know, in-depth preview, Adren and I did do a video over on his YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description below. But we actually broke down all the teams and did group predictions and everything. It was like an hour-long preview, so a lot of detail there if you really want to get into it. And that's why you haven't been seeing a lot of content on this channel, I guess, over the last like week or so, is because I've been doing content. It's just been on other people's channels. So like I said, I did the preview for DreamHack Austin on a Drench channel, and I also started a podcast with Metis, which is over on Metis' channel. I'll link that down below if you're interested in that as well. It's not really CS related, but maybe you'll still find it interesting or something like that. Just figured I'd give you that little update as well. As far as, you know, working with the other people at the event, it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, Machine's going to be hosting the event. This is someone that I have a massive amount of respect for. I'm a big fan of his work. I think he's an excellent host. I think he's also a spectacular commentator. I think most people don't get to see his commentary very much because he's doing a lot of hosting, because he's one of the best we have in our scene, and he's really kind of fit that bill, and he's even branched out into other games as a host. But he's also a fantastic commentator, and it'll be cool to meet him for the first time and get to really speak with him, because I've never really been been able to do that before. And so it's always cool to meet new people in your field when you go to events like this that you haven't run across before. Paolo's going to be there as an interviewer. This is someone I met in Leipzig, pretty nice guy. Didn't really get to talk to him too much in Leipzig. We were quite busy. Most of the time we were either working or we were, like sleeping because it was just like, a really long event and such. So, looking forward to hanging out with him more. Vendetta is going to be there as an analyst, and this is someone that I worked with at ECS last year, and really great guy. I've talked to him online several times. He's really nice, really insane memory for Counter-Strike. He really rivals Thorin as far as just the amount of stuff he remembers about Counter-Strike, and he's definitely a very knowledgeable analyst, so definitely expect him to do great work on the desk. And then you have Adren coming in, his debut event as an analyst. He's done some online stuff before as a commentator here and there, but this will be his first time doing a big offline event. And it'll be cool to see Adren again because many of you know I'm really good friends with Adren. I've done content with Adren in the past, like the preview for this DreamHack Austin event on his channel. Keep plugging that one away. And we've done some other stuff in the past, like interviews and things, and I'll play games with him on his stream. I actually haven't seen him in person in a very long time, though. I think not since E-League Season 1 when he was still on Liquid. So it'll be really cool to meet up with him again in person and catch up, as we've always been pretty good friends in the scene. As far as the commentators go, you got the Blaze duo, Blue and Days from EPL, which congrats to them. They just got announced that they're going to be at the EPL Finals, which is, of course, a really big offline event for them to cast together. So, shout out to them for getting that gig together. They've obviously been casting almost all the games for the North American side of EPL on the mainstream. They've really been forming quite the duo lately. They seem to work together very well, and they're developing that chemistry. And so they're definitely going to be a duo at this event that, should be great for them because I think the only offline event they've done is maybe like the iBuyPower Invitational last year or something like that. Like the finals that they had at the end of the year, like the $100,000 event or what have you. I'm not sure. I don't think they've done much offline together, so it's cool to see them starting to make it to lands as well. Blue is someone that I hadn't met until Leipzig, but he's a great guy. And then Days is someone I haven't seen in a very long time. I feel like maybe since like ESCA lands way back in the day, have I seen him in person? Maybe actually in like 2014 at like an ESWC qualifier or something. So it's been a long time is the point, like 3 years or so since I've run across Days. It'll be cool to meet up with him and catch up with him as well. And then I'll be casting with Launders, and Launders is a guy that I've come across many times at offline events, and we've done online stuff together. We're pretty good friends as well. It's going to be interesting, though, because we pretty much play the same role. We're both color commentators and analysts for the most part. And so, it's going to be interesting to kind of see how it's going to work out. I assume that maybe I'll be doing a bit more play-by-play than I'm used to doing. It's been quite a long time since I've really done a lot of play-by-play, especially offline. I can't even tell you the last time I did play-by-play offline. It's probably been like 2 or 3 years since I've done that. So, it'll be interesting to see how it works out, but I'm sure we'll figure it out is the point, and I'm sure it'll be a ton of fun. Working with Launders is always fun. He's a funny-ass dude. He's always good at cracking jokes and bringing energy and just a different flavor to broadcast at times. He's very smart. He really knows his stuff, and like I said, he's definitely just a really cool guy to work with. He's a fun guy, and so I imagine that no matter what, we're gonna have a shit ton of fun, and I'm sure we'll figure out some type of format that works with us casting together, and we'll do our best. I know I will. I'm definitely been researching and being ready to do color type stuff, but I'm also probably going to be giving Launders a lot of room to do that and maybe trying to cover some play-by-play since I know he's not as comfortable doing that, so to speak. So we'll see how it works out. It definitely might put me a little bit out of my element from what I'm used to been doing for the last couple of years, but I'm more than willing to tackle the challenge and just have a great time with it. So that's how it's going to be. And again, it's like a family reunion when you get to meet these people you don't see so often maybe, and you get to meet new people, and we're all kind of big parts of this community. And there's also going to be a lot of other people there, I think, that aren't a part of the broadcast but are a part of the CS community, whether it be fans or whether it be other players who are just coming to hang out, or whether it be like streamers. I'm sure I'm going to run into a lot of people that I recognize, and so it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm sure there's a lot of people I don't even know that are going to be there that I'm going to get to run into, and so it's going to be a blast. And I've heard great things about the city as far as things to do, places to hang out, and it just being a great place to be. So looking forward to, joining in all those festivities as well. And that's really about it. I didn't want to make this too long. Again, I did a very in-detail preview of the event and teams and predictions, all that stuff with Adren. So again, check that in the description below. And I did some content with Metis as well if you want to check that out. Again, I don't want you guys to think that I'm not really doing content anymore. It's just that some of my content lately has been located in other places. But definitely go check that stuff out. Hopefully, I'll see some of you at Austin. You know, if you're actually going to be at Austin, definitely, you know, feel free to come and say hello. You know, I'm always open to meeting people out in the community. You're not going to bother me at all, as long as you're not like obnoxious or rude or something like that. You know, I have no problem meeting out with people as long as I'm not like super busy. Like obviously if I'm on my way to the casting booth to go do a game and I'm just taking a pee break, sometimes I don't necessarily have the time to sit down and have a long chat. But certainly if I'm, you know, just kind of chilling out at the venue, you know, when I'm off or something like that, and, you know, Blue and Days are casting or whatever, then yeah, certainly feel free to come say hello. Would be great to meet you. And if not, I hope you guys will tune into the stream, and hopefully it'll be a good time. But yeah, that's going to do it for this pre-event vlog. Hope you guys enjoy the event, and I'll see you there, whether it's in person or over on the stream. So yeah, take care.